Hi, good morning. My name is Heather Kaiser and I'm presenting today on the Whole is Well Educated Facebook page. We are a health and wellness organization and I'm just one of the leaders, and today I'm presenting on why New Year's resolutions kind of suck. Woo! I'm not saying that New Year's resolutions suck, actually. What I am saying is that decision making is what makes or breaks anyone's year, anytime throughout the year. And if you get caught up in New Year's resolutions making, that's great. But if you have found yourself notoriously not finishing your resolutions or giving up or not being guided, figure out how you can do that better in today's webinar. So instead of giving you the 7 tips for great resolutions or the down and dirty ways to make sure that this is your greatest decision year ever, or anything you can read about it, I'm just going to share from my experience. What I have found is that learning from other people's experiences is one of the best ways that I can retain information. So today I'm going to share on the 3 major decisions I made in 2017 and how they shaped my life. And then I'm going to talk about the 5 ways that I applied some principles to each of those decisions, even though they were not made on January 1st. So the first decision that I made in 2018 kind of started off as a resolution. It was in January, and I declared 2017 the year of love. I created a hashtag, the year of love. I was going out dancing. I was doing tons of different activities. I started a new sport. My son and I were, he's 2.5, so he was a little under 2 then. We were going out and meeting new people and making friends, and it was going to be the year of love. And by February, I kind of forgot about the hashtag and forgot about the plan and just really kind of forgot about my declaration. But what I didn't forget about was that I was trying to bring more love into my life. And throughout 2017, I was taking tons of actions to bring love into my life and then to share that love with others. And it was an intentional action, even though I had completely forgotten about my decision that it was the year of love. But what happened from that decision was that I was taking steps on purpose to show love, to give love, and to receive love. And at the end of 2017, when I was thinking about all of the things I was doing in January last year, I remembered hashtag the year of love. And I realized that despite my best efforts, it really was a year of love for me. Despite the fact that it wasn't an intentional year of love, I met and fell in love with a man, got engaged, and am now planning a wedding. I, more than I could have ever believed, continue to fall in love with my son and my family. Another really important thing that happened in my year of love is forgiveness. I feel that forgiveness is one of the biggest barriers that I have to really experiencing love in its fullness. And I am a divorced woman, and 2017 was the year of forgiveness for me. My ex-husband and I are very good friends, and his new girlfriend and I are friends, and that could only have come about through forgiveness. As a matter of fact, 2 weeks ago, myself and my new fiance and my ex and our son and his girlfriend and their son all went and brought the boys to see Santa. And it didn't suck. It actually was really enjoyable. And we're all helping each other out, and we have an amazing family. So the year of love started off as Heather's gonna have love and be love, and what it really ended up being was the love I have in my life is so much better than what I imagined in January. And I feel that that was because I made the decision to both give love and receive love, and through that, forgiveness had to be a key factor. So if you're looking for this year to be your year of love, perhaps where you have to first start is how to show love. And one of the best ways to show love is grace. And grace for me means forgiveness. Okay, the second decision that I made in 2017 that completely shaped my life was in February, actually. I had been sick, and then my son had been sick, and then he had been sick again, and I missed a ton of work, and I was working in a really very intense, high demand job as an attorney. I loved my job. I loved the people I worked with. I even really loved the clients, but I was working way too much. The stress was a lot. I never got to shut my brain off from the demands of my job. And after being sick pretty much the entire month of February, I was just done. And I went to my bosses and said, you know, something's got to give. Is there any way that I could maybe take a pay cut and work part-time, which would be about 40 hours a week? And that just wasn't really in their model. You know, trying to help me as best they could. They just couldn't really guarantee that I could work, you know, just a full-time job rather than like full and a half. So I made a decision. And that decision actually was a declaration that I made in writing. And I said that I was going to do one thing on purpose every day to get a new job by May 31st. Now, the reason I made it so specific was because I had heard that if you want to make a declaration or goals, the more specific, the better. But what made this one a little bit different is I had an accountability partner. One of my good friends, Carrie Johnson, who's a trademark attorney for Cargill, said she would be my check-in buddy. So I had to check in with her every day to tell her what I had done on purpose every day to get a new job by May 31st. And I chose May 31st because the prior summer had just been a really tough summer, and I really wanted to have a decent summer. That's why I arbitrarily picked that day. So when I wouldn't text Carrie for a few days, or sometimes even a week at a time, she would then text me and say, hey, what are you doing on purpose to find a new job today? And it was exactly what I needed to get motivated. And sure enough, I found a new job by May 31st, and I couldn't be happier. I could not be happier. I love my job. It's exactly the fit I needed, and exactly the purpose that helps me stay driven. And it was on completely great terms. I just had lunch with my former boss a week ago, and this was a decision that I made for me. I made for my family, and I had to take action in order to make it happen. And for me, that accountability partner definitely was the make or break in this position, or in this decision, because I had to have someone kind of literally putting my ass on fire so that I didn't get discouraged because I didn't get interviews, because I didn't get jobs. You know, you need someone to motivate you, whether it's a mentor or a friend or a partner. So find someone like your own Carrie Johnson to do that for you. Okay, third decision that I made in 2017 that really shaped my 2017 was later in the year, in October. In September, I had gotten into some pretty unhealthy eating habits, and I won't get into a lot of that, but let me tell you that at one point, I bought a case of Oreos from Costco, hid them in my outdoor freezer, and would go and like silently, quietly eat them after my roommate went to bed so that I wouldn't have to share. Why I was doing that, and some of the kind of spiritual maladies behind that is for another webinar. But what happened was I knew that I needed to beat the sugar dragon, because sugar is, it's one of the things that I love pretty much almost more than anything. So I had to beat the sugar dragon. And I had heard from a couple of friends who had done something called Whole30, that they had really great success in getting back on a clean eating, healthy living type of a track. And I have been a clean eater for years. I have been kind of a fitness junkie, health nut my whole life, and I have gone through ebbs and flows with that, but for the most part, I'm a pretty clean eater. But the Whole30 is like a dedication. It's 30 days of a really, really rigorous clean eating lifestyle, and then another 10 to 30 days of kind of reintroductions to like learn more about your body and your eating habits. I knew I had to do something really drastic and rigorous in order to shake myself into some new healthy eating habits. And for me, I needed to do this in kind of a very public way, because if I am publicly doing something, then I feel like I really can't give up because people will judge me. So I had to kind of tell people this is what I was doing. I was really open about it. I told people, I told strangers what I was doing, and then I got people on board to do it with me, because I also know from the first one that I need accountability. So my fiance, my best friend Christine, my roommate Brian, we all jumped in together, and it was a huge, huge relief. So I went through the whole 30, and then another great 30 days, and this is like technically month 3 that I've been doing it, and I just had eggnog in my coffee, so I'm not 100%, but man, do I feel amazing. I feel so amazing. I mean, not only did I lose 10 pounds, which is a great benefit, but my health benefits are outstanding, and I don't feel that insanity of going out into the garage and eating a sleeve of Oreos after my roommate goes to bed. So what I learned when I was kind of reviewing these 3 decisions that really made a difference in my 2017 is that there were 5 kind of themes that sort of tied them all together. And so this morning, as I was kind of praying and meditating on what to share today, I wanted to share the 5 themes, because that is really what matters when you're making a decision. It doesn't have to be a January 1st resolution. It can be in February because you were sick. It can be in October because you're done with the sugar. It can be right now because you need love and forgiveness in your life right now. So here are kind of the 5 steps, if you will, that helped me with each of these decisions. First was admitting something needed to change. Wow. That seems so basic, but the truth is, in each of those situations, I knew there was something that needed to change in my life, and I needed to admit it. My mom growing up used to say, we need to confess it. We need to confess that there is something that needs to change, and it's not always a bad thing. Like in my year of love, it was that I wanted more love. It wasn't that I needed to change what I was doing. I needed more of the good love, okay? So first, admit it. 2, accountability. Now, depending on your personality, accountability works differently for different people. If you are a planner, perhaps your accountability is making a plan and sticking to it. If you're a socialite like me, my accountability comes from peer pressure. So I need that peer pressure and that approval from others. If you are kind of more of a D personality or a red personality, your accountability might be that you have to lead people. So maybe you need to take on a role where you're going to be leading people so that they are counting on you to stick with your decision. So whatever that accountability factor is for your personality, that to me is what really helps with decision making. 3, you have to plan and act. I think this is the biggest thing. We make decisions and then we don't do anything. We have to take steps, which is why in decision number 3, I decided that I was going to do one thing on purpose every day to find a new job. Because even though if I went 3 or 4 days without doing anything, I had to remember, oh, my original goal was to do one thing on purpose every day. So I could always go back to that true original intention. So you can make the plan, but you have to take the actions. If you're having trouble taking the actions, go back to step 1. Get some accountability. Figure out what that accountability is for you and stick to it. Not sure about the accountability? Go back to step 1. Go back to the admission. What needs to change? Maybe you need to examine that if you can't get into the action. Okay, number 4, spiritual help. Now this will be different for everyone. For me personally, my higher power is a God as I understand her. She's amazing. That requires, it means that I do a lot of prayer, a lot of meditation. Whatever that spiritual piece is for you, I feel that in decision making, that is a huge differentiator because you don't have to do it alone. You can ask for whether it's help from the universe, from karma, from your angels, from God, whatever that spiritual piece is, asking and seeking direction, seeking that peace, seeking that clarity, especially when you want to quit, especially when you have no motivation, seeking out that spiritual direction for me is what helps me feel like I am not alone. Even when I was at my house at 10 o'clock at night and I was sad and lonely because I legit was alone, I didn't have to feel alone. And that is the power of getting that spiritual connection and bringing that spiritual awareness into your decision making. And the fifth one, and to me, this is what I'm doing today, sharing with others. Okay? When you have made a decision and you have bettered your life in any way, or you are working on bettering your life, whether you're trudging the road to a better life, help others do the same. I have found that when I am helping others, I am so much more likely to stay on track. I am so much more likely to stay enthused, and I am so much more likely to feel a sense of purpose and direction and satisfaction. So if you are having trouble with any of the previous four, start helping others now. You don't have to get it. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be complete or this divine, amazing spiritual guru in order to help others. You can help others right now. So those are my 5 tips on how to stick with the decisions that you make in your life. Please feel free to review this throughout the year. This is not just about New Year's resolutions. This is about living on purpose today. Whether it's love, whether it's forgiveness, whether it's health, clarity, direction, whatever you want out of your 2018, you can have it and you can share it, which will help other people have exactly what they need. I hope you have a fantastic day. Happy New Year, and I cannot wait to see how your 2018 turns out. God bless.